Hello everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Sitecore Experience Platform, a dream for digital marketers. I'm your moderator Aditi and I'm joined today by Abhiraj Banerjee, Vice President of Digital Marketing Solutions at eDynamic. Abhiraj has over 16 years of marketing, digital solutions, customer acquisition experience across North America, EMEA, ANZ regions. Abhiraj has worked with brands such as Aviva, New York Life, Excel Group, Liberty Mutual, 3M, PepsiCo, McDonald's, Computer Associates, among others. In today's presentation, you will learn why Sitecore 8 is a game changer that will help marketers step up on their digital marketing initiatives across channels and customers. And now, over to Abhiraj.
Thank you, Aditi. Welcome, everybody. In today's webinar, we're going to talk about Sitecore 8. But before we get into Sitecore 8 and what it really promises and what it can truly deliver for marketers, I'd like to take a step back and talk about some of the key digital marketing challenges today. And the reason I'm going to do it is because Sitecore 8 has come in with a purpose, and that purpose is basically driven by the biggest challenges that digital marketers face today and going forward will continue to face. And the other big driver for Sitecore 8 is the fact that the paradigms or the expectations around digital marketing have changed considerably in the past few years. A few years ago, the conversations used to hinge around how many leads can a digital marketer get for their organization. Today, the conversation has moved to how can a digital marketer influence and improve customer experience. So this paradigm shift has meant that platforms, and I'm talking about marketing platforms, really need to reinvent the game to be really relevant in today's marketing conversations. And Sitecore is no different. So before I go into Sitecore 8, like I said, some of the key challenges that marketers have consistently been battling with in the past few years, or more specifically in the past 2 years, are around customer experience. How do I, as a marketer, improve and measure customer experience? How do I use customer intelligence to increase the success of my marketing campaigns? And you can read that as data insights. Is there a new demographic of customers that I should be marketing to? Where do my customers interact with my brand? Where are they consuming my content? Are there any learnings there that I can absorb and improve my marketing effort based upon? And how can marketers really learn from past campaigns and become more successful, more effective, and more efficient as far as the spend of every marketing dollar is concerned? So, the set of these challenges has been based upon our interactions with marketers in different brands and different kinds of businesses in different geographies. And consistently we found the same theme in terms of marketing challenges. And that brings us to a quick introduction about who we are at eDynamic. We're a global digital marketing and technology agency, and we seek to drive revenue impact for marketers through strategy, experience design, and marketing technologies. In terms of our footprint in the overall marketing platforms or marketing technology or digital strategy space, we've been around for a while, more than 11 to 12 years in this area. We've delivered more than 200 projects successfully just on Sitecore alone. We have a big Sitecore team of more than 60 people, and we've consistently delivered custom-specific and vertical solutions for industries such as legal, high-tech, financial services, manufacturing, CPG, amongst other verticals. As a company, we are more than 300 employees across 6 countries, and we work with some of the best brands in the world. So let me quickly dive into one of the key aspects in terms of marketing challenges, and that has to do with customer experience. So when we say that customer experience is the next competitive battleground, we have a lot of insight and data that kind of indicates why this is so critical. some of the leading analysts and consulting companies in the world believe that in the next 5 years, customer experience will be basically higher in terms of net value as compared to the price of a product, and that's a big impact that we are looking at in terms of forecasts. And people who are customers who are not happy with how marketers are treating them, they are not happy or not content with the kind of experience that is being provided to them, have a tendency to be extremely non-loyal. They can shift loyalties, they can move away from your brand, your messages, and therefore you can lose them forever. A big thing around customer experience is that it's the leaders who are really calling the shots. So, all over analysts are saying that companies that pay attention to customer experience normally have the most amount of success in terms of net value year on year. And when we talk about customer experience, that's right across the life cycle. It's not limited to any one particular stage around acquisition or retaining of customers or looking at trying to drive loyalty and post-sale service with customers. Customer experience is across the life cycle, and it is basically from the time a customer walks in the door till the time they stay as a customer. Now, organizations today have a huge opportunity, and that opportunity is to create a halo around their brands so that they are able to engage with customers for life and create ongoing opportunities to really make the most out of that relationship. But every opportunity comes with some risks, and there is some work that's required by organizations to be done to be able to get into a position where they can truly improve their customer experience. Now, when we talk about customer experience, a few things that truly drive customer experience, or you can say that the pillars or foundation of customer experience are what you can see right now. And the process is very simple. It all starts with the customer's journey, what they are doing, how they are really engaging with you across different stages, from the time that they first see you till the time they become a customer, and beyond. How are they engaging with your brand and your messages at various stages of that journey? The other key thing is around customer data. Are you able to really see and use the customer data that you have at your disposal and be able to improve upon your marketing efforts? The third key thing is around personalization. Everybody seems to be talking about personalization today, but are you looking at personalization in silos, or are you looking at personalization across the customer journey? The critical difference between the two things is often what determines good customer experience from not so good customer experience. Content is always important. So, any kind of experience needs to be shaped and driven by engaging content. And you should be in a position to be able to not just measure the impact that your customer experience efforts are having, but also be able to optimize and improve on it. And finally, one of the key pillars of customer experience is around the digital platform that you are using to enable your marketing effort. Are you using the right platform, and is that platform able to power your strategies and your execution and results? Is a big question here. You must be wondering, why am I talking about customer experience in a session that is centered around Sitecore? But if you look at the genesis of Sitecore 8, genesis of Sitecore 8 is purely driven by the need of brands and organizations to improve upon their customer experience. And I'll explain why this is the case. Sitecore 8 first was officially launched in December, around the Christmas of December 2014, and now it's slowly being rolled out to customers. People are upgrading to Sitecore 8. Those who have been using Sitecore for a while see it as a natural extension to what they've been doing with Sitecore, and a lot of new interest has also been created around the brand. But behind the scenes, Sitecore has been working pretty hard for the past 2 years, leading up to the launch of Sitecore 8. And one of the key initiatives that they underwent prior, well before the launch of Sitecore 8, was to do a joint market study with Forbes Insight. And there was a number of key outcomes of that study. But probably the most important, focus in terms of that study was that companies do recognize the importance of keeping customers for life, but the bias is still towards acquiring new customers for revenue growth instead of trying to, get more revenue from keeping, or retain customers. The other important outcome was that customer lifetime value metrics, are recognized for their value in strategic planning, in terms of, from a marketing standpoint, in terms of acquisition or retention or growth of, a particular customer. But in general, when it comes to actual action or execution from a marketing standpoint or from a sales and service standpoint, customers are not really, being sold or marketed to as effectively after they become customers by brands. And that, reflects in the fact that, customers are not really buying as much from a brand, after they become a customer. So therefore, the lifetime value is not really being maximized. Some of the other key insights were that, everybody understood the value of content, and this market study was actually done with several leading marketers across different kinds of businesses. It included, interviews and surveys with research folks in the marketing space, analysts, consultants, and so on. And, singularly, the value of relevant content and personalized content in all kinds of customer communication came out very strongly. The other key thing was to develop a single view of the customer, which most organizations said was their top priority, but they were having, a lot of challenges to try and execute upon this premise. And that was because, there was multiple systems involved, data was fragmented, data was in silos, and when marketers tried doing this, they were only able to make very slow progress. Other important outcomes were that, often, marketers, while going in with the noble notion of keeping customers for life, weren't really, on the same page with other, other stakeholders in the company, and therefore the effort to keep customers for life and to maximize revenue out of them was kind of, a one-trick pony. It wasn't really backed up, across the organization, and therefore really wasn't really a big success. Okay, so given that background and given the fact that Sitecore was reading between the lines, for a while, the fact that they initiated this market study, they took a lot of data from the market, they took a lot of marketing challenges, and truly made an effort to understand what is it that marketers really would need to take their digital marketing effort from where they are to a significantly higher level. Given that effort that Sitecore put, what they have come up with in the Experience Platform is not surprising. It is all-encompassing, and it is very much a marketing suite in every sense of the way, in every sense of the term. So if you look at, the overall platform, and I'm sure a lot of you have already looked at this in some form or the other in demos or in presentations with Sitecore, but the important thing is the spread in terms of channels that Sitecore has really brought to the fore. So what Sitecore is saying is that this is a platform that you can use for multiple channels, whether it's commerce, email, social, Federated, which is non-Sitecore properties, apps. You can do print solutions with this platform. You can, of course, do mobile and web. And then there's a heavy premium on content. So if you look at the entire management layer, they've added digital assets. There's product information for e-commerce and, PIM kind of integrations. And there is, content which is used from information, standpoint, and also from a content marketing standpoint. Where Sitecore has truly changed the game also is in terms of analytics capabilities. So if you look at the entire analytics layer, they have, alongside a really, really, cool analytics suite, they've also added other tools for marketers, decisioning tools, insights, dashboards, and a lot of automation that gives marketers tremendous power to really understand what's going on with their marketing efforts. And the bottom two layers is where Sitecore has taken uh, a completely holistic view of the marketing problems that are truly in front of everybody, every digital marketer, and change that into an opportunity for themselves to make a big impact. So with Sitecore 8, what we're talking about is the entire customer data is in your database. I mean, there are many possibilities around that, and I'll cover that in later slides in this presentation. But the notion of the entire customer data around which Sitecore is going to market is a terrific new addition to Sitecore, in terms of platform capabilities. And there's always a Sitecore. It's a very integration-friendly platform, so all kinds of API-based integrations are possible, whether it's with e-commerce platforms, ERP platforms, CRM systems, or other systems. Now, when we talk about Sitecore 8, the key thing here is how does all of this work together? So because they're covering all the channels, you can personalize your messaging across all channels. You can manage your content, you can manage your digital assets, you can manage all kinds of product or service information here. You can analyze, get insight, make decisions, and automate based on those decisions. You can collect and really be able to join the dots as far as customer data is concerned. And there's a lot into this that I'll cover in later slides. And finally, you can integrate with other business systems, other business processes, or other sources within the organization to help you really create a complete ecosystem. Now, why it's important to understand how all of this works together is because if you cast your mind back 5 minutes, when I was covering the pillars of customer experience, and I'll bring those up right now. So when we talked about the pillars of customer experience, we talked about the importance of customer journey. Now, customer journey could be from web to mobile to social to email. Customers keep moving from one channel to the other. And if you have the ability to personalize your messaging across all these channels, then you're aligning yourself very closely with the customer journey. So that's number one pillar that Sitecore's new platform can help you, aligning with. Number two is the importance of customer data. Sitecore talks about customer data in a very broad way, in a way in which very few marketing platforms have talked about. And that is basically one of the foundations of good customer experience. If you're able to use and act upon your customer data to help improve customer experience, then you're winning a very big battle. The importance of personalization right across the customer journey. Again, I mentioned that you're going out to multiple channels. You're able to personalize your messages across all those channels using a single platform, and that is a big deal as far as Sitecore is concerned. And finally, the other pillar of good customer experience is the ability to measure and optimize it. And with Sitecore Analytics and the new suite and the new capabilities that they have provided, you can do much more than just analyze. You can get insights and make decisions in real time. What does a Sitecore customer experience solution look like? It is a combination of data, effective content management, experience management, personalization, insights, and the ability to go to multiple channels. So, in essence, Sitecore 8 basically enables you to engage with your audience. It enables you to unify your data, and it enables you to analyze and improve upon your marketing performance. So in terms of Sitecore 8, what I'm going to be walking you today through is basically, like I said, a number of you would have already seen some of these slides that are going to follow. A number of you might have seen Sitecore demos. What we're going to try and do today is to present a high-level perspective into what is the value or the benefit that marketers can truly take away from Sitecore 8 and why we think it's a dream for digital marketers. So we'll take a quick look into Sitecore 8. How does it look? How does it feel like? We'll talk about some of the things that this tremendous new package has that has enormous benefits for marketers. Now, in terms of marketing, how can it really test and optimize using Sitecore 8? which has often been a painfully slow process with other platforms in the past. Even with Sitecore's earlier versions, you could test, optimize, and improve your marketing initiatives. But with Sitecore 8, you can do all of that much, much faster and much more easily. Why is it a game changer? We're going to be talking about the experience database, the notion of big data around Sitecore 8. We're going to be talking about Sitecore's exciting new offering, the Federated Experience Manager, which is basically potentially a real disruptive technology influence in the field of marketing. We're going to be talking about segmentation as well, how you can do that very smartly with Sitecore 8, and what kind of tools can enable you to do that within the platform. A lot of marketers that we have been talking to of late have been coming to us and asking the question that we already use analytics, and therefore why do we need Sitecore Analytics? We're going to try and attempt that question for you and see if that makes sense to you. And finally, the sophisticated personalization targeting capabilities of Sitecore. So Sitecore 8 is about knowing every customer and shaping every experience, and therefore the platform itself has aligned itself very closely with the look and feel of most Microsoft-based apps and technologies. It's a tile-based, icon-based, app launcher kind of thing, which you see right up front when you log into the Sitecore platform, and it enables you to quickly go to wherever you want to go to at the tap of a finger or the click of a mouse. In Sitecore 8, you have the notion of content editing has been added upon. So now you have the notion of an experience editor. So what you can do here is that a good digital marketer can just simply get into Sitecore, and what you see in the screenshot here, you can go in, change the banner, change the content, change the headline, change the image, add a video, do everything that you want within one single interface, which is what we call as a unified content editor. You don't have to change your interfaces to change content and images. You can do it all at once, and that's why they call it the experience editor. Now, Sitecore 8 has a lot of things that marketers look for, and while we are not covering almost everything today, but a few of the key features that really marketers crave for, in marketing platforms, Sitecore 8 has, all of them. So what are the big four questions that marketers need answers to? What is my customer looking for? Can I quickly filter and present information to prospects to shorten my conversion cycles? Can I target content based on, customer behavior or visitor behavior? And, how are people really interacting with my digital property? On social, on other websites, outside of my website, on email, on landing pages, on product microsites, etc., etc. How are customers interacting there with the kind of content offers and other material that I have. Sitecore tries to answer all these questions in in a really, really good way. So therefore, the big thing around Sitecore 8 and why it truly enables marketers is because Sitecore 8 allows marketers to manage large sets of customer interactions, and it also helps marketers to understand what is the customer behavior and intent. Intent and behavior are keywords for every digital marketer today because that is what truly separates the wheat from the chaff as far as marketing or targeting or segmentation is concerned. If a prospect is showing action along with intent, it really doubles up your marketing score as far as targeting to that prospect is concerned. So it's important to understand behavior and understand it, and acting on it in real time is truly what marketers really want to do. So in Sitecore's language, when we talk about large sets of customer interactions, it's important to understand what is an interaction. So whenever somebody out there interacts with your brand, your message, or tries to engage with your organization as a whole, that is what is defined broadly as an interaction. Now that could be one visit to your website, it could be a session spent on your website, or on a landing page, or on a microsite, or on your social profile, etc. And interaction is, it starts from the first time somebody visits you. That's an anonymous visit. You don't know who the customer is at that point or who the prospect is. And it keeps on going till you are, by recording the behavior of that prospect over time, you are able to create a picture of that prospect, identify that prospect, and record all of the data in Sitecore. So every time that prospect keeps coming back to you for more content, for more offers, or or anything new that you might be trying to promote, all of those are future interactions which keep getting recorded in Sitecore. So over a period of time, Sitecore creates basically a very in-depth customer profile, which is what is invaluable importance to marketers. Now, in Sitecore Rate, what we're saying is that you don't need to test, marketing stuff on, in silos. What you can do is when you're creating content, when you're creating a campaign, whether it's an email or any other campaign, using Sitecore, you can test everything and enable everyone in your team to be able to test, various things. So some examples of testing include how can you, for instance, if you're designing a new campaign on Sitecore, is the original better? Is the new version better? Can you A/B test it? Can you multivariate it? Can you, assign this task to a team member in marketing, do that testing while you are, finishing that campaign, leading up to launch? You can do all of those things in parallel by using different people for different kinds of roles. Then, what is the statistical confidence level that the test has reached? So there are tools that are built into Sitecore that will enable you to test and get, stats around whether you're fairly confident, you're not confident, or you're supremely confident about the potential success of a new campaign. And you can assign scores. So based on what your testing results indicate, you can assign scores to whoever has created that test campaign, and what is the engagement value you're getting through that test. So if that test is launched as a beta, in an A/B test mode to a few prospects, and you try and record, how prospects are engaging with that campaign, you can take that data and use it not just for this campaign, but also for future campaigns. So therefore, very key metrics like engagement value, the rate of conversion through a campaign, and other variables that you can assign to a particular campaign to help determine the efficiency of that campaign. You can record and test everything during the A/B or multivariate testing phase with the use of statistical tools that enable you to see all your test results under one window. And like I said, you can use different skills within your marketing team or different people within your marketing team to do this kind of testing. And if you're able to test everything, it means that you're able to optimize everything as well. So if your test results indicate that what you're designing as a new campaign may not be really optimal, it may need some improvements, it may need some tweaks, you can do that immediately in real time and be able to launch your campaign still within time. So in essence, what Sitecore is doing is that it is enabling you to do dry runs of every campaign, every new marketing initiative, whether it's a new website page, a new microsite, a new campaign, a new email, and do that in parallel, when you're designing the campaign or the new initiative, without having to wait to actually launch it and then go back and make changes, which may take more time and cost you more marketing dollars and effort, right? The other exciting thing about Sitecore 8 is that you can assign, like the real live campaign, you can do everything in a test campaign. You can assign goals, you can assign metrics as to how the campaign might, actually perform, and you can use everything, you can integrate search, you can integrate forms, media items such as videos, etc. So the real world experience of a campaign can be replicated in a test environment before you actually launch in campaign. Which brings us to the two most exciting features of Sitecore 8. And again, the focus is unrelenting on customer experience, which is why we want to talk about the Federated Experience Manager and the Experience Database. So according to Sitecore, the Experience Database is a repository that collects information related to customer interactions across channels. It defines a unified view of the individual customer. it makes this data available in real time to marketers for analyzing or for taking any future action. And it helps to provide truly personalized experiences to customers. So how does it work? So the experience database is basically, it's a huge data repository, that's true. But where Sitecore has truly changed the game is they have brought in the entire concept of big data into experience database. So there is no concept of a SQL server, for your experience database. The experience database is based on a NoSQL notion. So it is based on MongoDB, which is arguably one of the most sought after, big data databases, in the world. And MongoDB is basically responsible for capturing all the customer interactions across channels and storing them based on, customer behavior and, the number of times they've been interacting with your brand across channels. And this data keeps on adding. So, if somebody goes to a Facebook offer from your brand, and at the same time they're also opening an email that you may have sent to them, all of those interactions are recorded in MongoDB, which forms the backbone of the experience database. What this does is truly over a period of time, it builds a profile of the customer. And if my name is X, and if I'm interacting with brand Y over a period of time across email, social, mobile, e-commerce, etc., etc., a profile of X is created within Sitecore. And what happens is that since I'm a human being, I'll have certain attributes, I'll have certain behavioral attributes, I'll probably like some things, I'll probably not like some other things. I might like certain types of content, I might like certain types of offers, I might like certain types of videos more than I like types of images. So my own idiosyncrasies or my own behavioral attributes as a potential buyer are all captured in Sitecore. And therefore, over a period of time, Sitecore knows that this is Mr. X, this is the kind of content he likes, and this is how he'll prefer to buy from your brand. And that is a big, big boost to any marketer. So when, as a marketer, I'm looking at my customer data, and I'm trying to figure out where is my next customer coming from, and if I see that Mr. X is showing all those behavioral attributes over time, that will tell me that, look, I think this person is ready to make a buying decision on my brand. As a marketer, you cannot hope for a more insightful piece of information than that. And therefore, what we say is that the experience database, connected data of customers across channels is what truly drives exceptional customer experience. Why is it a game changer? Well, in more ways than one, it's a game changer because, XDB is something that is in real time. So, when you use XDB, what you're doing is you're enabling a marketer to act on customer behavior by, by making decisions in real time. So, if as a potential customer, I am tending to ignore your emails, I'm tending to go to your Facebook offers or your LinkedIn messages more than email, then you would not waste your time sending me future emails. You would rather focus on sending content to me via social, trying to get more relevant to me on social and sending me offers that I'm liking instead of trying to focus on email. And that's the kind of power that Sitecore XDB gives to a marketer. So I'm giving an example of how you can choose one channel of delivery over the other. The other important way in which you can use XDB information is by looking at what what is a particular customer or prospect most likely to consume. So if I'm trying to get my mind around what a customer is likely to consume, what kind of content will make sense to that customer, I'll try and see what has been done in the past. And when you have a comprehensive record of the kind of content I have downloaded from your site or the kind of offers I've clicked on, you will get a picture of what I like. And therefore, you can populate your next offer, your next piece of communication to me based on my background and my attributes. So you can choose which channels to reach me through. You can also choose what kind of content, offer, or messaging will truly resonate with me. So it gives you an enormous power as a marketer to make the right choices, the smart choices as far as customer experience and reaching out and targeting a particular prospect or customer. The other important thing about the experience database is that the experience database fuels the Sitecore Analytics suite, which is basically one tool set that has multiple kinds of tools such as the experience analytics, the path analyzer, and each of these tools can come together and really show you how customers are interacting with your digital properties. And that opens up a world of possibilities as a marketer for you, because when you get such real-time intelligence, it will help you orchestrate and improve your customer experience across channels. Now, we talked about the fact that the experience database is a potential game changer, and we talked about a few things that are truly innovative, in terms of the experience database. Now, Sitecore 8 has much more to offer. In terms of the Federated Experience Manager, that's the other exciting addition with Sitecore 8. And basically what it enables you to do is that it enables you to control and improve what you can do through marketing. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're a large firm, you're a global organization, you've just acquired somebody in your space, and inorganically you've added to your brand, your growth as an organization. And when you acquire a company, if you have 15 websites earlier, after acquiring a company, you might get 30 websites. Now, you might be running your websites on Sitecore, but the company that you've acquired may be running their websites on WordPress or Joomla or, I don't know, any other platform. Now, when you acquire that company, you have 30 websites to manage instead of 15, but you are only using Sitecore on 15. So how do you take the features of Sitecore or the capabilities of Sitecore? Can you still use them with those 15 websites that you've just acquired? Well, the good news is you can. And that can happen through the concept of the Federated Experience Manager, which is a unique concept where you can track and personalize content, customer behavior, even on third-party sites which are not based on Sitecore. So if you're, let's say, if you are an insurance company and if you're selling your products on third-party aggregator sites where people are coming in, evaluating your product along with other products and buying, in principle, if you have an agreement with that third party, you can also apply the notions of the Federated Experience Manager on that third-party platform and get a view of how people are interacting with your brand, your product, your messaging on that third-party website. So it's a case of you're extending Sitecore's features to include websites where Sitecore is not really the backbone. Those sites are based on other platforms, but still you're able to use Sitecore capabilities on those platforms. The good news is that, like with your website, where you can use the Sitecore Experience Editor or Sitecore's capabilities like analytics, etc., to see and make decisions in real time, even with third-party sites, you can use Sitecore's Experience Editor to change content, to add images, to add videos, to personalize, do everything that you're doing on your website on a third-party website without ever having to go out of Sitecore. That's the beauty of the FXM. Even with campaigns, if you're running your campaigns using Sitecore, if you're running display campaigns or any kind of other programs across third-party publishing sites or media sites, you can track behavior, you can analyze, you can personalize, you can do everything on those sites as long as you are in agreement to use the Federated Experience Manager on those third-party sites with the publisher or with the third party. And this is how it works. So using JavaScript, you can, which is the backbone of the Federated Experience Manager, you can monitor, manage, and improve customer experience even on non-Sitecore websites and even on non-Sitecore mobile apps using Sitecore. Now, one of the problems is that, when you see data is something that Sitecore has looked at very intently when they came up with Sitecore 8. And the problems that have been identified, which is something that a lot of marketing organizations face, is that data is spread right across the organization, and it is not really connected. So, you have CRM data, you have point of sale data, you have apps, you have social, customer support, and then there's a website. And, there are these silos or buckets of data that are not connected, and therefore it's very difficult to get, one view of the customer using all of these different data silos. Now, the experience database was specifically built for improving customer experience. And that one way of doing that is by creating a single view of the customer. So the XDB sits at the center. It can be the center of all your data silos, and data from various silos can all flow into XDB and have that as the lowest common denominator or the backbone of your data effort. Now, when we talk about the experience database, it's got a really nice, cool view. It presents information in a very, very ingestible way. It's very easy to read and figure out how you want to use the experience database. What you see here is a profile of a prospect or a customer inside the experience database. You've got the entire history of what that prospect or customer has been doing on your website, on other digital properties. What kind of things have they downloaded or clicked upon? How many times have they visited you in the past few days? And that's just about activity. It will also give you demographic activity about the customer or prospect. It will give you, the kind of things that they have been doing in terms of other customer profile attributes like their income, geography, what kind of devices have they been accessing the campaigns or digital properties through. So all this wealth of information about a particular customer or prospect is in one single view, and that is what we are referring to as a single view of the customer. Now, some of the other features is that of the experience database, knowing that it's some of the largest companies in the world that are into consumer goods or into e-commerce and have 50 or 60 different kinds of products or brands. When we talk about combining data and getting it to a point where you're able to get single view of customer, it's easier said than done. We're talking about humongous data, and that's what we refer to as big data very popularly. And experience database has features that really enable it to be a successful marketing backbone team. One of them is that you can move from a single server to a full server farm based on your digital demands. And the other is that by the very nature of its build, the experience database can support load balancing to optimize performance. So if your Sitecore-based website is based on a load balancing environment, for instance, if you're using 2 or 3 different kinds of environments to ensure that your performance of your website is good, the Sitecore Experience Database will also work on similar lines and be able to align itself with your load balancing infrastructure. Now, there are other features as well of the Experience Database. It has got huge storage capacity because it's not based on the concept of a SQL server. And all of this data is made available to Sitecore Analytics. It can be as highly available as you need it to be. So it's high performance, high availability, and it's cloud friendly as well. So if you don't want to be spending a lot of dollars in trying to get Experience Database on premise, you can very easily opt for the cloud option and save costs. Now, we talked about a single view of the customer, and with the Experience Database, you can really see your customers to be real people, what they like, what they have behaviorally been doing with your brand, your messages, etc. over time, and it gives you a very rich feel about a customer or a prospect's profile, based on which you can make multiple marketing actions going forward. One of those actions is to do segmentation, which is a big improvement that Sitecore 8 has over previous editions of Sitecore. So in terms of Sitecore 8, you can basically segment your messaging and your audience and really do very specific segmentation by gender, by job title, by postal code, by specific even personal emails, and you can see how each you can establish categories or buckets or different kinds of segments your highest profile customers in one particular segment, what are their typical attributes like, then the next level, and then the next level, and so on. So, when you, as a marketer, you can imagine that if you walk into a room and you know that in this room there are 50 people, but, the ones that are standing right next to the door are the people I should be talking to first, versus those people who are sitting on a chair in a corner on the right-hand side. Your job as a marketer becomes very easy because you can really focus your energies and attention on the most value that you can really bring in terms of customer acquisition by segmenting and attacking and targeting the right set of people based on their behavior and data. So, there are numerous examples of, how you can use Sitecore to, segment and really understand customers and target campaigns to them. And this is an example of how you can segment people, in Sitecore. What you see on the left-hand side is basically is a great example of how, through various questions or parameters, you're trying to engage a customer, and you're trying to measure how they are interacting with your brand or your messaging. So the engagement value indicator is truly what tells you how how a customer is, how much they can potentially buy, and how much of energy and marketing dollars should be spent on a particular customer, versus other customers. And what you see on the right is excellent information as far as marketing is concerned. You can see how, for a particular segment, you can see what kind of marketing goals have they converted. What are the top 3 clicks to the number of pages on your website that they have been usually frequenting? What kind of site usage are you seeing from this segment? So it's a wealth of different ways in which you can build that, so to say, and really come to the conclusion that you want to spend your marketing effort and your marketing investment in a segment that truly matters most to you. Like I said, a lot of our customers have come to us and said that we are already using analytics, we're using Omniture, we're using Google, we're using WebTrends, etc. We're using Core Metrics. Why do we need to use Sitecore? And while there is no cut and dry explanation to that, but based on our understanding of Sitecore and the fact that we also work with other analytics tools and we know what each tool brings to the table, the big things that really enable Sitecore Analytics to be a really, really smart tool for marketers is that it captures real-time digital behavior of customers. And more importantly, it can also associate this information with existing offline customer data sources. For example, if offline you're trying to measure your customer behavior or customer experience in certain ways through surveys, through point of sale, feedback cards, etc. If you digitize all that information and have the ability to bring all that information into Sitecore, then you're combining offline, customer behavior measurement with digital customer behavior measurement, and it's possible to do that within Sitecore. Therefore, the analytics tool is a step up from whatever you've seen in the past. And the other important thing is that what it enables you to, by combining offline and digital customer behavior measurement, it helps you to target more relevant offers, better campaigns, and more efficient use of your marketing resources. So in everything that Sitecore is doing, whether it's through the experience database or through the segmentation capability or through Sitecore Analytics, what it's telling marketers is that, look, you have certain budget, you have a certain team, and you have certain time in which you want to do a lot of things. And this platform is going to help you do all of that in a much smarter way. It will save you time, it will save you dollars, and it will make the best use of your and your team's time to target the segment that truly matters to you. Now, in analytics, the other big thing that I've done is that there's a huge technology shift. I explained the concept of the NoSQL database, which is behind the experience database. And Sitecore's Experience Analytics is based on the XDB. So therefore, we're talking about a big data repository on which the analytics capability of Sitecore is built, which means that there's high volume or number of interactions can be as high as you want them to be. And this database can handle any kind of volume field, and therefore you are able to cover a wide range of customer behavior in terms of interactions, channels, campaigns. You can spread the net out far and wide to capture customer data and get insight. The other thing is that with Sitecore Analytics, you can also integrate behavior data from other technology platforms into Sitecore Analytics, which is a big capability also in terms of how you can use Sitecore Analytics. And then you can use that data for targeted marketing. You can use it for remarketing, etc. Based on the insight that you get from Sitecore Analytics. Now, the all-new Experience Analytics gives you 360-degree insight. It straddles social, email, mobile, search, any other channel that you wish to do. It can also take data from non-Sitecore systems and also from non-Sitecore apps like CRM systems, ERP systems, and point-of-sale systems as well. So we're talking about a central, data and analytics capability that's second to none, where you're able to combine offline, online, and campaign data, everything under one single roof, and be able to get insights based on this huge set of data. The Path Analyzer is a revolutionary new feature in Sitecore 8, and in real time, what it truly does for you is that it scores every visit by a potential customer, a prospect or an existing customer, in terms of what value, what is the engagement value that they are providing with every visit. So, for instance, if I come to your website and I watch a video for 2 minutes, and then I come back to the website after 2 days, and I start to watch the video again, or if I start to watch the video from where I left off, or if I start to watch some related video to that, or I download something related to that video, all of these behaviors can be recorded in Sitecore, and not just recorded. With every kind of behavior, I'm contributing unconsciously, of course, to my score in Sitecore's system. So Sitecore is recording this behavior, and it is attaching a score to the kind of behavior I'm showing. So what it does is that over a period of time, it will tell you the engagement that a particular customer or prospect is showing with your brand or your content, and that tells you whether it's a prospect or a customer that's worth targeting or not. We talked a bit about testing and optimization a bit earlier in Sitecore 8, and to kind of complete that, Sitecore 8 is a marketing suite, and therefore whatever they are providing in this suite is basically more than enough for any marketer to really launch successful marketing programs. So even with an optimization, you can set up a test team to optimize and test and optimize campaigns. You have reactive and proactive testing. You can do winners and best match. You can gamify testing within your team. You can give, if there are 2 people in your team who are responsible for marketing campaigns, you can give them both one objective and tell them to both to design campaigns in Sitecore to meet that objective, and then they can create their own campaigns, test them, optimize them, and then show you the results. And you've set a gamified situation, so whoever comes up with the better results in a campaign gets to do that campaign actually, and you're also assured that you should be getting the right results from that campaign. So Sitecore has been very, very sensitive to the needs of digital marketers, and one of the problems that marketers have faced is that they are forced to often change course in the middle of a campaign. They don't have the flexibility to make changes in real time. But with features like reactive testing, with recommendations, by forming user clusters, and by gamifying the entire testing and optimization thing, you can actually enable your team to do much more with Sitecore, and in the result come up with winning campaigns. And you can optimize every component, right from a banner to a message, to an email, to the kind of goals that you want a particular campaign to achieve for you. You can do pretty much everything. Now, what is the experience database or the experience optimization dashboard really? How does it contribute to Sitecore effectiveness? So I was talking about gamification, and if you see here, this is an example of how it works, is that within a marketing team, these are, few users who've been all given tasks, to, uh, conceptualize and launch a new campaign based on some marketing objectives. And this is the result, this is how, the overall performance looks like. You can see in a dashboard view the results of every kind of campaign that, all your different users have put together month on month. And then you can pick and choose which campaign is working best and actually launch it. And in the process, you can give that marketing manager or the assistant marketing manager a pat on the back saying that, well, it seems that you're doing the best job out of all the people. So it's an exciting new paradigm that Sitecore has introduced in terms of how they can use different skills within the marketing team and how. Now, when we talk about Sitecore 8, uh, it was in 2009 that Sitecore first introduced the concept of personalization and the digital marketing suite. Um, it's been 6 years, close to 6 years now, and what you have in Sitecore 8 is kind of a culmination of a journey that Sitecore took 6 years ago, or more than 6 years ago actually, to come to this level of how you can personalize experience content and therefore improve customer experience. With Sitecore 8, you can do a lot with personalization. People who have been using Sitecore, for a number of years would not be strangers to personalization. A lot of marketers do know about this capability. But the big thing about Sitecore is that with every version that they have launched, they have kept on improving and making the personalization capability more and more sophisticated, more and more in real time. And now, with Sitecore 8, what you can do is that you can actually check your website rules and figure out things like location, IP, and other details about your website visitors, and then you can actually personalize content for them in real time by either showing or hiding or making certain content adjustments in terms of what such visitors get to see. So the big thing here is that you're able to do all of this in almost real time and using a variety of attributes or parameters as far as visitors or customers or prospects are concerned. So if you want to talk about what kind of personalization you can do it for every kind of component within Sitecore, whether it's experience or content management. You can do it for every visitor that comes to your website. And you can also look at things like engagement value in terms of being a guide or a basis on which you can do personalization. So if the engagement value of a particular visitor is high or has been consistently high for the past few weeks on your website or on other digital campaigns or platforms, you can take that insight and actually personalize based on that particular insight. Further, what you can also do is that within the experience database, you can use the customer data in there to personalize with the help of the rule set editor. So this is built right into the experience database. So if you're looking at, I showed you the single view of a customer earlier on in the presentation today, and in that single view of the customer, if you feel that if you want to personalize for a particular segment or a particular set of customers based on the single view that you have of those customers, you can do that from within the experience database using the rule set editor. So this is an example of how you can take data from the experience database and use the Sitecore rules to actually personalize content and experience. We talked about targeting, and one of the big things with Sitecore is the inbuilt email experience manager. It used to be called an email campaign manager in earlier versions of Sitecore, and now they call it an email experience manager. And it is seamless. It is part of the marketing suite. So therefore, people who are familiar or have been using Sitecore for a while or are familiar with the features of Sitecore will find this just purely as an extension of Sitecore. And it has every capability and every feature that a lot of leading marketing automation platforms provide to you. You can have consistent interface. You can have multiple options for personalization, for content, for review, for delivery. You can set up workflows here for internal reviews. You can set up a review process. You can ensure delivery. You can check out reports for every email sent. You can personalize every email on the basis of a wide variety of parameters, and it is fully integrated with your overall marketing capabilities in Sitecore. So as a use case, if I give you an example, if a website visitor comes to your website and spend some time, probably download something, probably does not sign up with you or give you their data, but on a repeat visit, if you're able to get that data from that prospect, based on their behavior on the site, you can immediately or at a later point trigger an email from within the website, from within Sitecore, using the email experience manager. And that email can be personalized based on my browsing behavior on the website, and it will have relevant information based on what I've done on the site. So that's an example of acting in real time or almost in real time, or even scheduling an email based on website or digital behavior. Now, with experience automation, what you can also do is that this is another example of how you can, from within Sitecore, you can basically target segments. You can take out data. You can take out your segmented data. You can figure out which segments are high priority, which are medium priority, and then you can automate the experience on those. So, if you're high priority segment customers, you can put in a scheduler that changes content on a particular section of your website, or you can personalize emails based on their behavior. You can do cluster testing. You can do a variety of things based on how you use that data. So, and that can be built from within Sitecore. It's called the dynamic segment builder, in which for a particular segment you can change the experience and automate the entire thing from within Sitecore. So if you want to change the banner every week for this segment, you just have to put in that rule in Sitecore, and it will continue to change the banner every week based on the rules that you set. So those are some exciting new features of Sitecore 8. It's an amazing platform in more ways than one. It's fully integrated, with various capabilities, analytics, email, content management, experience management, and the full notion of big data around experience database, the ability to control experience and personalize things, even on non-Sitecore properties, etc. So it's a full bouquet of offerings from a marketing standpoint, and in general, it's real good news for any digital marketer, which is why we are compelled to say that it's a dream for the digital marketers of today.
Thank you all for joining us today. We look forward to connecting with you again. Please feel free to reach out to us at contact@edynamic.net